Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks. I was asked to engrave on this hammer a team logo and a Cedar Park lacrosse team, but the hammer isn't, a straight handled hammer. The hammer's got a little curve to it. So I could have done it. I could have put the logo there and I could have wrote the Cedar Park in a straight text and gone center and drawn a box and made sure it was in there, but the text would have been smaller. So I took it upon myself to kind of fit it to path and make the text as big as I could possibly make. So what I did, and there's two ways you could do this. You could take it, lay the hammer out on a sheet of paper and trace around it, trace the head, make some marks where the head starts. Then you could scan that and you could import that. I found it's a lot easier, for me anyway, just to take a picture. The hammer is actually 17 3/4 inches big, long. My picture is only 12 inches because the camera doesn't take it proportionally. But what I did, I just set that, and you don't, when you want to expand something, you don't want to grab this node because that's all it's going to do is make it lengthwise. You want to grab one of these nodes so it'll be proportionate. And I need to go a little bit bigger. And there we go. Now my hammer is 17. It's equal to the picture. And just to double check, because you've got your picture overhanging, it says it's actually 19 inches long. You can take your parallel dimension tool, put it on that edge, and you've got 17.75. Well, I was lucky. 17.75 inches of a hammer. Anyway, we'll take this picture away. And then I've got it in the laser. I've got it the size I wanted. So I'm going to draw a line around my hammer. And there's a number of ways you could do that. You could use the freehand tool if you're really good. You could use a 2-point line, the Bezier tool, the polyline, anything. I've actually found for myself, it's just easier to make a rectangle, convert it to curves, go to your shape tool, grab all your nodes, turn them into curves. Then you could double click and add nodes. So that way you can make it fit that hammer. And just keep moving your nodes around, so you could get this. You could probably add a node there, bring this node down. This might be hard to see because I'm working with hairline, but that's how you do it. Then after you've got it done, you can turn that into, a bigger line, thicker line, and so you can see it working around your hammer. Then what I'm going to do though, I'm going to turn this line back into a hairline, a red hairline. I'm going to select that when I'm printing it, and I'm going to, hopefully you have a red dot pointer on your laser. I'm going to ask it to cut this hammer out. I don't want it to hurt the hammer, so I'm going to leave the door of my laser open, and it's going to run and it's going to trace this line. And then that way I know my hammer, and that way you can, you don't have to move it. And I looked here and I've got, that point of that hammer is around 5 inches. So I'm in the laser pretty close. And then if I need to just tweak it up, left, right, up, down one side, make it a little leveler. And if you noticed on my picture, I took it on a piece of tile and got the tile straight. So I just know that my picture's kind of straight. Then if you're, you've got your, where you are, but I was real worried about this logo not running into this part of the hammer that has been chiseled down to fit into the head. So I drew a hairline box around where I wanted the logo. And then I can go to the printer, hit print, select this, print it like you're going to cut it, leave your lid open, and it's going to draw that box. And then that way you can look on the same distance there as I'm same distance there on the hammer. And it's just a double check to make sure everything's cool. Then you can go and select that logo and run that logo, and you know it's going to be in there. I think, you know, taking the pictures, incorporating into especially things that aren't perfectly straight. And then, of course, you could, I'm not going to get into fitting this to path, but I'd fit it to path. And this isn't the one I used because I actually did the other side. But this is what I used on the other side to put the young man's name. And then that way, I knew that the text was in that box. So then, and the nice thing about this, you've got this hammer done. Let's group it all together. And now let's flip it. He's a little bit longer on that side. Now I can put him back in the laser. Of course, my text will change, but here was my, you know, I need to probably flip that. But here was my text for the young man's name. Tell you what we'll do, we'll make that a little thicker. And then that way you can run that, run the job, and just know, and it's actually, I need to go to range, order, front of page, and then there's your box. And this particular, you know, that's not exactly probably where I had it. But that way you can run this, have your text in there, and make sure you're right. First of all, you're working with somebody else's hammer. You can't, if you mess it up, so, you know, check everything out, double check it, run these boxes. Anyway, hope that helped a little bit, and thank you for watching.